Hi everyone, this is just a quick shout to let you know that my new book, The Book of Hedge Druidry, a complete guide for the solitary seeker, is now available worldwide. This book is great for anyone who's new to the tradition or for anyone who wants to brush up on elements of the Druid tradition. It's a big book, it's got over 365 pages, and it's split into different sections. Part 1 is theory, dealing with history and metaphysics. Part 2 is practice, everything you need to know about altars, rituals, rites of passage, daily practice. Part 3 is study, so what you need to know about the Ogham, herb lore, and spellcraft. And part 4 is skills and techniques. So this covers areas such as ethics and peace and being a leader in the community, using your voice, your body, and movement in ritual as well. So I'm very proud of this book. It's been a labor of love, and you can buy it from all bookstores, and you can also buy it online. You can buy it at Amazon, and you can also buy it direct from the publishers at Llewellyn. I'm so excited. Kiri's so excited too, aren't you, Kiri? You excited? You excited? Not so much. Nope, that's it. Forget it. We're out of here. Hello, and welcome back to my Witchy Ways video series. Today I'm going to talk to you about circle casting, and I'm going to show you two different methods of casting a circle. One is a Wiccan-inspired circle casting, and the other has a focus more on British traditional witchcraft. So today I'll show you both of those. First of all, let's talk about why we're casting a circle in the first place. And there are many reasons why you might want to cast a circle so that you can perform your ritual, your meditation, whatever working that you want to do within the circle, be it spellcraft or anything else. So the circle that you cast will be based on your intention. If your intention is perhaps to celebrate one of the Sabbats, then you would cast a circle with that intention in mind. If you're casting a circle with regards to spellcraft, you would cast a very different circle. It would be a circle that would contain the energies within until the time is right for you to release those energies in the spell work. If you're casting a ritual to travel between the worlds, again, that intention would change when you are casting the circle. And I'll talk a bit more about that as we're actually doing the circle casting itself. Today we're just going to cast a circle which creates a sacred space. It's a temple in which we can honor our deities, our tradition, our ancestors, whatever it is that you feel you want to honor. So let's begin. So I'm going to begin with a Wiccan-inspired circle casting. I have my altar here already set up with the basic tools found in the Wiccan tradition, and I'm going to be casting my circle today with a wand. Some Wiccan traditions would cast a circle with the athame. I prefer to use a wand because I do a lot of work with the fair folk, with the fairies, and so I tend not to carry iron upon my person if I can help it. So I will be using the wand to cast the circle today. I'm going to talk you through everything that I do today so that you can follow me step by step. I'm facing north at the moment, east, south, and west. I like to cast my circles starting in the north. Some traditions prefer to start in the east. It's all whatever works for you, basically. If you desire, you can cleanse your sacred space before you cast your circle. You can either sweep it with a broom or simply use your visualization in order to cleanse the space around you. I'm going to consecrate the circle once it's cast, and in doing so that will bless and purify the circle. Again, it's up to you what method you prefer. So, I'm standing in the northern part of my circle. I'm not using anything to delineate the circle because I know the edges of the space I'm working in. But if you have a new space that you're working in, you can use a cord to delineate the circle's edge. You can use flowers, you can use flour itself, you can use candles, anything that would create a visual boundary for you as a guide, if that's what you prefer. I would say if you're working outside, though, definitely choose something that would not harm the earth. So please do not create circles out of salt when you are working on the soil itself. So I'm standing here facing the north, and I'm going to visualize the energy building within myself, coming up through the earth itself, coming from the sky above, and just building within me. And when I'm ready, I'm now going to visualize the energy pouring out of me through my arm and through the tip of the wand, and creating a circle of bluish purple light around my working space. And I'm going to take that line of energy I created and now create a sphere or a globe that goes overhead and down under the ground, and now I am completely enveloped in a bubble. I've cast this circle clockwise. If I was to do a ritual, say, to contact the fair folk or to walk between the worlds, I would cast the circle counterclockwise. Some traditions say never to cast the circle counterclockwise, but I think it really is based upon the intention of the ritual. As well, if you're working in the southern hemisphere, you might prefer to cast the circle counterclockwise instead of clockwise, or widdershins as it is known in the Wiccan tradition. Now that we are within our sphere of energy, we're going to consecrate that sphere of energy. And I'm going to do so with a tiny bit of salt and a bit of water. I'm happy to use salt in this setting because I'm on my paving stones here, and I'm only using a minute amount. First, I'm going to bless the salt, and again, I'm going to use my wand to bless the salt. I bless this salt in the name of the Mother Goddess and the Father God, that it may be fit for work in my right. I'm visualizing a stream of energy going through the tip of the wand into the salt to bless it. Now I'm going to consecrate the water for the circle. Again, I'm going to visualize that bluish purple energy that I used to create the circle, filling that water and consecrating it with my intention. I consecrate this water in the name of the Mother Goddess and the Father God, that it may be fit for the work of my right. I'm going to take 3 small pinches of salt and add it to the water. I'm going to go once more to the northern part of my circle, and now with the salt representing earth and the water obviously representing water, I'm going to consecrate the circle with these 2 elements. So I'm just going to sprinkle the inside of my circle and the altar with the salt and water. By the powers of earth and water, I consecrate this circle. Next, I'm going to take the incense and place a pinch on the charcoal briquette that is within the censer here. If I cast the circle clockwise, I try and move around the circle clockwise with every motion I can. Now we have the elements of fire and air represented within the censer. Air for the smoke and fire for the lit charcoal briquette. I'm now going to consecrate the circle with the powers of air and fire. Consecrate the circle with the powers of air and fire. Next, we're going to call in the 4 directions in order to ground our circle within this space and this time. I'm going to start with the north, as usual, and then move east, south, and west. You can use your own words for each direction, each element, whatever suits you, your place, and your time. Within the Wiccan tradition, there are set associations with each direction, so I'll use those in this calling in of the elements. However, in the second circle casting, we'll see how that can change. So I'm going to begin in the north. I'm visualizing everything that I associate with the north. I look to the north and call upon the element of earth to be with me in my sacred rite. And now I'm going to move to the east. And I'm visualizing everything I associate with the east. I look to the east and call upon the element of air to be with me in my sacred rite. And now I'm going to move to the south. I I look to the south and call upon the element of fire to be with me in my sacred rite. And now I'm going to move to the west. I look to the west and call upon the element of water to be with me in my sacred rite. Now I'm going to call upon the fair folk, the ancestors, and the goddess and god to invite them to be within the sacred space, to hallow it and to bless it. Call upon the fair folk, those who are in tune with my intention. I ask you to bless and to be with me in my sacred rite. May there always be friendship between us. I call to the ancestors, to ancestors of blood, of place, and of tradition, to be with me in my sacred rite. I call upon my lady of the stars and moon, to the bringer of dreams and twilight. I call upon my lady and her loom, to the weaver of fates in the night. I call upon my lady of the lake, to the singer of the evensong. I call upon the maiden, mother, and crone, to the goddess, alive and strong. I call upon my Lord of the Sun, to the rider in the skies. I call upon my Lord of the Winds, to the eagle as he flies. I call upon the king stag, to the sun, the lover, king and sacrifice. I call upon to my Lord of the wildwood, laughing, free and wise. So everything that we have wanted to invite to be with us in our sacred rite is now with us, part of us, within and without, part of our sacred space, part of our circle. And at this point in the ritual we would declare our intention and then perform the ritual act itself. As we're not doing a ritual today, I will now show you how to take down the sacred space, the metaphysical temple, the world between the worlds, whatever intention you use to create the circle. This is how we are going to take it down in a Wiccan-inspired setting. First, we would thank the deities, the ancestors, the fair folk, and the spirits of the four quarters. Anything that we have invited into our circle, we are going to thank now. give my thanks to my Lord and Lady for being with me in my sacred right. Goddess within and Goddess without, God within and God without, I honor you with all that I am. Blessed be. Ancestors, you whose blood runs through my veins, whose stories flow through this land, whose laughter is heard on the breeze, I honor you with all that I am. Thank you for being with me in my sacred right. The fair folk, those who guide and inspire me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being with me in my sacred right and for being with me in my life. May there always be friendship between us. Now I'm going to thank and say farewell to the spirits of the four quarters. I look to the north and honor the element of earth. Thank you for being with me in my right. I look to the east and thank the element of air for being with me in my sacred right. I look to the south and thank the element of fire for being with me in my sacred right. I look to the west and thank the element of water for being with me in my sacred right. Now I'm going to take down the circle. As I do this, I'm going to do this counterclockwise. As I created the circle clockwise, I'm going to take it down counterclockwise. Many traditions continue with the clockwise method. This is simply the method that I prefer. Again, using my wand, this time instead of pushing energy out, I'm going to take the energy back within myself through the wand that I used to create the sacred space. And any excess energy that I feel has been raised, I'm going to give it back to the earth. You can also use any excess energy that has been raised and push it into your altar or into your ritual tools, if you so wish. And then just some final words to indicate to everyone involved, the seen and the unseen, that the ritual has ended. The circle is open, and I give thanks for everybody who's been with me, everyone who's been with me in my sacred rite. Blessed be. And that's all there is to it for a very simple, Wiccan-inspired circle casting. Let's now move on to a more British traditional version of a circle casting. This is called Hallowing the Compass. Now I'm going to show you a method of circle casting that is inspired from British traditional witchcraft. In this form of circle casting, we're not using very many tools at all. In fact, all we're using is the stang itself. The stang is a forked staff, and this represents goddess and the god, two streams coming together to form one. I also have a symbol of the season. Currently we're celebrating Lunasa or Lammas, and around me all the wheat and barley fields are being taken in, and so I have this corn dolly to represent the harvest. Hi Barnabas! You're so handsome. So, we're going to start by placing the stang in the north part of our circle. And this one has a pointed end, so you can stand it in the ground, in the earth. You want to be part of this? Okay. When you're casting circles, I find if you have pets or familiars that are pets, they can freely walk within the bounds of the circle and not affect the energy of it at all. They're kind of extensions of not only yourself, but the deities and everything around you. And so they have free will of movement within and without the circle. So I've placed my stang in the north part of the circle, and I'm now going to move to the center of my space. Again, I don't have anything delineating the edges of my circle. I can visualize those edges within my mind, but if you prefer a physical representation, then again you can use cords, flowers, branches, stones, anything natural that wouldn't disturb the landscape. So I'm going to stand in the center of the circle and just gather myself, my energies, grounding and centering and ready to begin. Next I'm going to hallow the compass. The circle is called a compass in traditional British witchcraft. And so starting with the north, I'm going to visualize energy from the bottom of the stang flowing into the earth and forming a boundary. And we're going to do this 3 times. cast this circle in a place that is not a place, in a time that is not a time, in a world between the worlds. So may it be. And I'm going to leave the stang in the northern part of the circle. Sometimes I would have it in the center of the circle, but for now we're going to leave it here in the northern part. It all depends on what you feel works for you in that ritual at that time. I'm going to stand in the center of the circle now, and I'm going to face north, and I'm going to visualize a line of energy running from the top of my head down into the earth. From the skies, straight through my body, and into the earth. And then I'm going to visualize a line of energy running across. You can either visualize this coming through your solar plexus, or visualize it coming through your hips. A line that runs from east to west. And finally, visualize a third line running from north through the center of your body to south. All connecting either at your solar plexus or in your womb pelvic area. Visualize an entire globe of energy that you have created, enveloping you in a sphere of light. And each of these lines is connecting to an edge of that sphere. And now I'm going to call in the 4 directions. And in traditional crafting, it's more about locality than about tradition per se. And so you might find that I'm going to call the elements in a slightly different way. For me here, living in Suffolk on the edge of the North Sea, I find that the element of air comes most strongly from the north, where the cold, bitter north winds blow. For me, the element of water is to the east, as that's where the largest body of water in my locality lies, the North Sea. South is the element of fire, where the warm sun rises, where the warm sun shines down upon us in the summer months. And to the west, well, to the west is the largest landmass for me here in East Anglia. And so there's a huge landmass before we get to the Atlantic Ocean. So for me, in a traditional setting, land would either be in the west, sometimes in the north. If the wind is blowing very strongly from the west when I am performing the ritual, then I might use the element of air for the west and earth for north. As I said, it's very dependent on locality and on what is happening around you at that time. So at the moment, we've got some winds coming from the west. So west feels like air for me today. I will use earth for north. So, standing facing north, I look to the north and call upon the element of earth, of midnight and winter, of darkness and regeneration. Be with me, hallow my compass. And now I'm going to move to the east. I look to the east and call upon the element of water, of flowing, of give and take. I call to you to be with me, to hallow my compass. And now I'm going to go to the south. I look to the south, call upon the element of fire, of change and transformation. I call to you to hallow my compass. And now to the west. I look to the west and call upon the element of air, of new beginnings, of freshness. I call to you to hallow my compass. Those are the basics of hallowing the compass, casting the circle in the British witchcraft tradition. I like to add a few more elements. I like to honor the ancestors. I like to honor the fair folk that I work with. And I like to honor the goddess and god, similar as to what we did in the first circle casting. I would use very similar words. So now that the circle has been cast, I'll show you how to take it down. Again, it's very simple, just everything in reverse. We would thank everything that has been a part of our sacred rite. So beginning with the north, as we have invited those energies in, we're going to thank them for being with us. You want to help? Good boy. I look to the north and thank the spirits of earth for hallowing my compass, for being with me in my sacred rite. I look to the west and thank the spirits of air for hallowing my compass and being with me in my sacred rite. I look to the south and thank the spirits of fire for hallowing my compass and being with me in my sacred rite. I look to the east and thank the spirits of water for hallowing my compass and being with me in my sacred rite. Now we're going to draw the lines back into ourselves, the lines of the compass that connect us to the four corners of the globe. So visualize that line that runs through your center, north-south, and take that back into yourself. And the line that runs through your center, east-west, take that back into yourself. And the line that runs from above and below, take that back into yourself. And now we take the stang once again. And we draw the energies back within the stang. Gather in all that has been here within. Gather in all that has been here within. Gather in all that has been here within. If you feel any excess energy within yourself, again, you can ground it through the stang into the earth. Another method of taking down the circle in a traditional crafting point of view would simply be to visualize the lines disconnecting you from the compass and then allowing the sphere that you have created to just melt and dissolve into the earth. I prefer to do everything that I have done in reverse. It just makes it feel more whole and complete for me personally. But how you decide to create the sacred space and how you decide to take down the sacred space, the compass, the circle, whichever method that you choose, is entirely up to you. And it's entirely up to you to create it with intention for whatever work that you are doing within the ritual circle. Thank you for being with me for this video on circle casting and hallowing the compass. And I hope that you'll join me in the future for more videos on this series, Witchy Ways. Bye for now.